Hi guys, it's Madam Cupcake again. I'm gonna be making some green juice today, and I thought I would bring y'all on this journey. It's been probably like 3 years since I've made like the green juice. I will go ahead and put a link down below to the recipe that I'm using. Yeah, here we go. So I have already put everything in the sink and got it all washed up. Some of this is like organic and some of it isn't. Like I know the kale is organic just because that's all they had. I do recommend rinsing everything, especially your celery, because when you get celery like down here towards like this bottom piece, it's always like slimy for some really weird reason, which is a little creepy. Alright guys, so I am not entirely sure how much this recipe is going to make. I think I actually got it off of a different website than what I normally, or what I used to use all back in the day. So let's get started. And I'm sure the dogs are gonna be barking like idiots, but we'll go ahead and see how it goes. So one of the things that I have pulled out, because I don't know how much this is going to make, is a clean mason jar. You can store this if you're not gonna be drinking at all, but the best way to do that is in glass, an airtight container in the fridge. Alright guys, so I apologize about the noise, but we are going to go ahead and get started. So that was just about, there's two cucumbers and there's almost 2 cups. Alright, so that was 2 cucumbers, and then we have 6 pieces of celery that we're doing next. So after about 6 pieces of celery, that's brought us up to almost 3 cups here. You do get a little bit of foam on top, but I'm gonna go ahead and take this time to empty this out for us. I'm just pouring it here in my mason jar. And this little cup is absolutely perfect because it does pull the foam off for you. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I have a feeling we are going to need another mason jar. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be juicing is some green apples, and there are 4 of those. Whoops! Losing my apples, not my marbles, my apples. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these into quarters, just because it is a little bit easier to get into the juicer. And I don't bother pitting them just because the juicer does basically separate the seeds and everything. Alright, so we have our apples here all cut up. Go ahead and get started again. So 4 apples gave us just a little bit over 1 cup, and there's a lot of foam on the apples. Alright, next is a lemon. Lemon. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut this in half to make it easier. The recipe says to peel it, but I really just think that, I don't know, there's good in the rind as well, so I just juice it with it on. Alright, so next is ginger. It says like 2 pieces of 5 centimeters, but yeah, this is about the same that I would juice on when I juiced last time. So that has brought us up to almost 2 cups with the lemon and the ginger added. So the last thing that we have to juice here is just our kale leaves. And that's about 16 leaves per the recipe. I'm gonna go ahead and empty some of this out. I know we don't get a lot of juice out of the kale, but definitely want to have that extra room. Beautiful kale. It's a kale bouquet. A kale bouquet. So on the kale, I do the stem and everything. Alright, so I hope that was interesting. We're gonna go ahead and get cleaned up. Of course we'll need to go in and mix these up, but look at that dark green juice from the kale. That's the good stuff. Container. I just take one of these sacks here that my vegetables came in. Then that way you can just pull it out and you have a totally clean container. You know, I guess you could use this for compost, but meh, whatevs. So that's pretty easy. Getting it cleaned up is really simple. Other than scrubbing the screen, everything else pretty much just rinses off. So we're gonna go ahead and get this mixed all up and get a taste. Smells of green juice. Now watch, I'm gonna make a big old fat mess here trying to mix this stuff up. Smells delightful. Oh, look at that, look at that. Not that big of a mess. Alright, so I am pretty confident that that is all mixed up. So what are these, quarts? So out of all of that, I got a full quart and a half quart. Well, this jar looks bigger, so I don't even know what it is. But to go ahead and store it, what I do is I just take a little sandwich baggie here, throw it over the top, take my ring, and seal it up like that. And then we're gonna go ahead and just pop it in the fridge. So some separation will be normal just because of the type of vegetables and the consistency that each juice gives. So I would just go ahead and just shake it up, and you should be good to go. All right. Been a while, a little nervous. You ready? Just as good as I remember. So if you're worried about the green vegetables really making it taste nasty, you don't really taste the kale, like very minimal. What you're really tasting is like your ginger, your lemon, your apples, the cucumbers, like all that other stuff. So it's really good, and I recommend that you try it. Bye.